The Devil's Pipe by S.M. Dotson. This story is brought to you by Lucy Leaf brand pipe tobacco in Whiskey Cavendish, Cherry Vanilla, and Mellow Gold varieties. The Devil's Pipe. Oliver found the tobacco pipe in his new flat while he was cleaning. It was hidden in a small indention under the fireplace mantelpiece. He needed a pipe. His other pipes were cheap and often cracked where the mouthpiece meets the stem. This one was made from a sturdy material. Oliver cleaned the amber-toned wood. It looked impressive, with a slight auburn glow. It had been some time since the pipe was smoked, so Oliver thoroughly cleaned the inside of the bowl. The lacquered wood squeaked against the metal scraper. The resin caked on the inside had a red tint. Must be the type of wood. When Oliver was satisfied with the cleaning, he placed some tobacco in the bowl and packed it down with his pinky. He then placed a loose layer of tobacco on top of it and pressed it lightly with his thumb. He lit the mound of tobacco and stoked the flames with air from the billow of his cheeks. He was a seasoned pipe smoker. He knew how to stoke the flame without inhaling the contents of anything loose in the stem. When the tobacco took to flame, the pipe let out a slight, high-pitched sound like a cacophony of screams from a tiny choir in the bowl. The draw was good, and the taste was exceedingly pleasant, but with a hint of iron or copper to the taste. Must be from scraping the bowl too hard. The smoke was beautiful and thick. It was the most nuanced smoke Oliver had ever seen, except for the black mushroom cloud from a pile of ignited black powder he saw when he was in the army. It was easy for Oliver to imagine there were faces in the haze. Each of the personages and their wailing silent mouths would stretch out into a thin black line and dissipate. Oliver loved seeing those vivid, stretching faces. They were engrossing. The pleasant smoke empowered his imagination. He lit his bowl and heard the damned scream as they were burning and choking in the smoldering tobacco. When he exhaled, he imagined their souls were set free in the smoke and stretched into nothingness, bringing them final relief. Meanwhile, in the underworld, the devil was walking among his inhabitants and noticed that many of the souls in one cavern were disappearing. One group of wailers here, one group of gnashers there, disappearing in a horrid scream as their flesh burned away from their bones. He knew that someone had found his pipe. The devil stepped onto his chariot made of bones and followed the next cluster of souls that disappeared into the trans-dimensional funnel into which it was pulled. The devil appeared from out of the mouth of Oliver among the exhaled smoke of the amber pipe. Oliver was startled and began to cough, providing the ankles and feet of the Lord of the Underworld in distinct puffs. "So you like my pipe, eh?" asked the apparition that appeared before Oliver. Oliver shook his head, then blinked hard. He looked down at the pipe, then stretched out his arm to hand the pipe to the man born of smoke. "I'm sorry if I took it. I just moved in, and I I needed a new pipe. Do you like it? I ask a second time. Oh, so politely. Why, yes, it's a very good pipe. But as you see, I want to give it back to you. I didn't ask for it back. I would need to ask for it. Therefore, I would not ask for it, said the devil in the most simple way he could. I could put it back where I found it if it pleases you. Get off it, shouted the devil, sprouting horns and fangs and snake hair. You are stuck on a goddamn loop. Stop saying that you'll give it back or put it back, and nothing goes back. Nothing goes back. The devil resumed the shape of a simple man. Oliver wet his pants, then recovered from the shock. I thought I was imagining things earlier. Is there some substance in the pipe making me see things? There are things in the pipe, yes. But you are not hallucinating, if that is what you are asking. The apparition produced a magnifying glass and set it on the end table next to Oliver. Knock out the dollop, said the devil. Get under some light and look. Oliver tapped the edge of the bowl to expel the partially burned tobacco into a dish. He took the magnifying glass and placed the bowl in the light. He was horrified to see insect-like creatures stuck all along the inside of the bowl. They were squirming, light-skinned things. He looked closer and noticed they were not insectoid, but fleshy creatures. Oliver pulled back the glass slightly to enlarge the image, and there he saw naked men and women submerged to their waists in the resinous tar pit coating the inside of the pipe. Those were real screams I heard, said Oliver in amazement. And in the smoke, that is why I am here, said the devil. What you saw in the smoke was real. You are releasing these souls from torment in Hades. I don't want that, you see. I use my souls to give me the power to do amazing things, so I have something for you. The devil produced a beautiful scarf, which at once appeared around his neck. Then he unwound it and tossed it on Oliver's moist lap. It is a nice scarf, said Oliver in a polite tone. You see a scarf. It doesn't matter. This is for you, Oliver Layton Carmichael Tufton. Thank you, but I can't take it. It's not a casual gift. It comes with the pipe. Pray it doesn't come with other things. Oh, said Oliver, and stiffened. I want you to smoke the nice pipe. I am happy you enjoy it. It brings me pleasure to know you found it, cleaned it, and was open to its many pleasures. You understand it. Now the cloth. It is a portal. Oliver lifted the cloth and looked for anything unusual or portal-like. It was made of red linen with gold threading. When you smoke the pipe, as I am sure you will do often, I want you to breathe the smoke through the cloth. It returns the souls to me. Oh dear, said Oliver. Now I will leave and never return unless you fail to follow my orders. But wait, what if some of the smoke doesn't make it through the cloth, or I make a mistake? If you miss and I lose a few souls here and there, I won't care. As a matter of fact, I won't even notice. Just enjoy that goddamn pipe. Can I do something nice for someone once a millennium? "Sorry," said Oliver. "You're right, of course. Thank you very much for the gifts. It's a rare honor." The devil bowed in respect and then turned to smoke and ash. Years in smoked bowls went by. Oliver would blow through the cloth portal from a short distance and let some of the souls escape into the air each time he smoked the pipe. He knew he was releasing them from hell, or so said the devil, but he didn't know what happened to the souls afterward. Did they dissipate into a final death? Do they remain as ghosts? Oliver thought he found out his answer to this in the faces of newborn children in the small town he lived. He thought he recognized the face of baby Mary Walsh as one of the souls in the smoke. Was she one of the faces? One of the souls I released from hell? When some of the children grew older, Oliver found out from their parents that they all had terrible dreams at night, and it made them nervous things. The children in the village were often very devout to a remarkable degree. They all greatly feared the Lord and eagerly sought confession. There was something that remained in their memory from their time in hell. Eventually, Oliver would let more of the smoke from the devil's pipe escape into the air instead of blowing it into the rag, which was now putrid, moist, and black. Oliver was getting very old. He seemed to have an unusually long lifespan, perhaps from his steady habit of smoking his devil's pipe once a day. When Oliver was ready to die, he tossed aside the rag, smoked his devil's pipe, and freely blew the thick smoke into the air. It was like he remembered the thick and complex smoke. He waited for the devil to appear in the gray clouds of it, but the devil never came. Oliver became braver. He knew he was releasing souls from hell, and he was now on a mission to save as many as he could. He loved the children of the village like they were his own. He felt he had pulled them out of suffering in hell with his own lungs. Oliver smoked. He was old, but he developed a spring to his step. The old man skipped around town, his long white beard bouncing, and blew his thick clouds into the air. The children loved him. They would often follow him through the square and down the dirt road to cool off in the creek during the summer. One day, the devil was there, wading in the creek. He was waiting for them. Oliver froze in place and could not find the voice to tell the children to run back to the village. The devil greeted the children and asked them if they loved the Lord. They all eagerly nodded and approved. He told them what to do if they loved the Lord. The children obediently followed his commands and lined up single file. As the devil baptized each child, the limp body would catch in the soft current and be carried downstream. Oliver watched helplessly as the bodies of the children floated after each other down the creek. "I'm taking my souls back, Oliver," the devil said in a loud preacher's voice. "Why don't you go back and tell their parents what happened? If I were you, I would keep smoking that thing, live forever and not return. Or you can go back and be killed for drowning all these children. Your choice." Oliver looked down at the pipe he so loved. It was the pipe, he thought, that made him a benevolent saint, releasing souls from hell. Oliver threw the pipe into the water. It floated slowly away. Oliver watched it drift. The devil laughed as he watched Oliver stare into the water. Oliver stepped into the stream, and the devil laughed more. Oliver ran along the current and chased after the pipe. The devil pointed and guffawed at the sight of the desperate man. When the old man finally caught the pipe, the last child had floated past him and down the slow current. Oliver looked back up the creek. The devil was gone. Was gone.